Hi, this video is for Bruce and Jamie and anybody else curious to know what kind of parts I have available. Today we're looking at an 89 LX that is hopefully going to donate some metal to a rustier automobile. But before I cut anything, I just wanted to show my potential clients what they're going to be getting. So normally, I brought a Sharpie out here with me. Normally I will take a cowl panel and a frame rail out of these cars. So for you, I would be able to start here. And this particular car has very nice, clean frame rails. So I'm going to come all the way back to about this gap here. So I'm going to cut that out. I'm going to come up here and save my cowl. So right about this intersection here. So I'm saving everything pretty much on this side of these two lines, but can make anything else available off this car coming on down. So I saw some pictures with your door and fender on that, yeah, you got cancer and it's splitting open inside there. So I know this piece is better than what you have. Before I cut it, I just want to show you what I can cut for you and kind of what this one looks like. So inside the wheel housing there, we can call it, I can include this entire panel here, which I know on a lot of convertibles, I guess you could say even almost all these Mustangs, there's something that funnels or channels the water down into that kind of floorboard area to exit, whether it's supposed to come out of the rocker or flush out of the cowl somehow. I'm not 100% sure, but I know that they get all kinds of crap caught up in here. Even looks like there's like an extra piece of metal in here today coming from the inside. But this one doesn't really have too much cancer, at least the stages past one. So where the door was exposed, this was always, this is always exposed metal when the door hinges are put on and then they spray it. So this was exposed metal. It's still silver underneath here. You know, lick my finger. So that's not rust beyond surface right here. I took the hinge plates out so we can kind of see inside when I go inside. This one also is nice. There is a little more than surface. This might be some scaly rust, but it's really not bad. But I just want to show you, I was telling Bruce about this spot where the antenna goes through. There's a little missing metal here. But really that's about it for missing metal on the outside. Just surface rust and some scales, just a little bit, but I don't see any missing metal there. Let me grab the Sharpie again. So if I went all the way through the wheel housing, there is a factory kind of a lip here. And depending on how you want this piece, I can come just flush with the lip, right underneath it there, and kind of straight across. What that does allows me to save as much of this rocker as I can if it's salvageable for another donor. And it does seem pretty nice. I'm not going to be too picky about it. I want to make sure you get enough of what you think you need to make this project go smooth. But I don't want to take too much. And of course I don't want to cut too shy. So again, kind of here on the inside, there's another factory lip. On convertibles, I'm sure this is a little different than a hardtop. There might be some, I think there's some extra bracing in here and probably some thicker welds. So being that we're going convertible shouldn't be an issue, but I can come right down along these two factory lip lines here. And as I follow this bracket, basically we just continue out until I met the wheel housing that I was showing from the front view. So I need my cowl panel, but should be able to come into the wheel housing here. And then somewhere in this bracket area, now you can tell me if you want me to save this bracket and come down here to give it to you, or I would probably just try and cut as easily for myself as possible. Maybe come kind of through this area just to meet up below this thick metal bracket here. So something to this effect is kind of what I thought you'd need. Oh yeah, probably helps to show the inside, doesn't it? So on the inside, let's see. Bottom looks the same as it did, with the exception of this one little piece right here. One little piece that looks like I could knock it loose. Little piece of metal. But that might even be from the hinge side. It doesn't appear to be that this metal on the car is rotted at all in this bottom hinge post. I can't see what you're seeing right now, but I assume it's pretty clean in the pinch weld there, or spot welded together body panels. Here's the back side of the antenna hole. So like I said, there was some missing metal on the outside of the car, but really, I mean, if I kind of stay back and just give a once over, it's pretty clean looking. The cowl on the car's got little surface rust and stuff, but not rotted or leaking or anything like that. Let's get back up here to the, this really isn't as bad as I was expecting. I was expecting to see more crunchy metal up here, but for what you're using it for, I mean, this is way better than what you got, and I would call this a good donor piece. I'm trying to get the light in there, focus on that. But I really don't see any missing metal anywhere other than just right around that antenna hole there. So that's an example of what I would cut for a passenger pillar. It's cool that we're going convertible. I am missing one line. There is, I think, a factory seam right about in this area here. I could, but don't expect it to be saving this windshield frame. So you can kind of tell me if about here the bottom of the glass is good for you for height. If you want me to come in higher, just let me know and I will. But real quick, one last once over of what I'm looking to cut. So through the kind of windshield pillar here, I'll start, cut across, get to about here, cut this straight so I can save my cowl panel all the way down. If I start here in the front, that'll be in the front then of this structural part. Here's a computer bracket bolt to give you an idea of kind of where that is in the inside. So I'll give it 2-3 inches away from that seam there, so you've got metal to work with. Oops, coming down here inside the wheel housing, so a few inches away from the actual panel. Underneath, I'm kind of blind right now, but I'll get through there, and would probably come up somewhere in about, well, let's see what I want to do here. I have to make sure I give you enough of this piece. I don't think let me know again what you need down here in the fender area, but figure I come somewhere in the front of this rocker, up across to this factory seam here and through, follow that factory seam underneath this kind of doubled up kind of reinforcement bracket there. I'll just follow the bottom of the reinforcement bracket, give you an idea where I'm at. Follow the bottom of this reinforcement bracket, just kind of straight out the firewall there to get you that 2 or 3 inches away from that pinch. I'll find a way to cut through up here in this cowl area. Real long Sawzall blade should be able to actually get through both of these layers. And then let me know where you want in the windshield. So now I see this lip here. So somewhere in about there, it's going to take a piece of the windshield frame with it. But that's a full factory install you can do then. So basically from here, if you wanted, to the bottom down here, if you tell me to include this full piece here, I can take a look at your car. Let me know if you're going to replace it or just butt it up somehow. Measure twice, cut once. So thank you for your attention, gentlemen, and anybody else that might be interested in something similar. But that's how we do out here at the Mustang Parts Warehouse, and look forward to hearing from you all soon. Thank you.